Welcome back to my whiskey pick of the week. You know I'm Eric the Whiskey Guy, and as always, as usual, and as expected, am I bringing you a treat this week, or we gonna find out. Now this week we're going to be trying the Ragged Branch Weeded Bourbon. So I'm kind of on the fence. This is one of those toss-ups, a 50-50. Now, my expectations isn't the highest on this one, and I'm gonna kind of explain why. But I am excited to try a new bourbon. We're not really in the same region as we usually are. Usually, I try to stay like in Kentucky and Tennessee, and we're gonna go a little bit east. This one's out of Charlottesville, Virginia, deep in the mountains, or the locals like to say up in the hollers. So we gonna try it out. I was actually grocery shopping the other day, and I kind of peeked my head into the liquor store that the grocery store got, and I always kind of go in there, show my face, see if they got anything good. And I was kind of looking around, me and my wife, and she seen this in the clearance area, the on sale. Now this bottle the retail is about $45. It was on sale for $32, and $32, that's a great range for me. I looked at it was like, $32. I tried, and I came home, did a little research on them. So I'm a sucker for sales, and with bourbon, for some reason, it seems like bourbon, no matter the quality of it, it seems like it tastes better when you get it on a discount for some reason. I don't know, if you pay under retail price, that's a win within itself, it seems like. But with this one was kind of intriguing, because on the bottle it says it independently handcrafted. So when I read that, I was like, okay, this kind of seems like it may be a local distillery that's branching off, and I like to support local distilleries. I have one right down the street from me. I go in there, and something about local distilleries, like if you got like your hometown or your current town distillery, it seems like they always show you love when you go in there. I live on the beach or near the beach, and they had the local distillery here. They had a whiskey. It was called Shark Bite. I'm in the Shark Bite capital of the world, so I went in there to get a bottle. My intentions were just to go in, grab the bottle, come home. But then they go to talking with you. Once you sit down, they bring you samples. I think I was in there for probably 45 minutes. Left with a buzz, like I was at happy hour all day. I think I got home and I was still tipsy from the tasting that I don't even think I opened the bottle that day. So I like to support local distilleries, and this one has a unique backstory to it. They got the Ragged Farm. On the farm, they also produce their own beef, their own cattle, their own steaks, all the mash that they put in their whiskeys and their bourbons. That's what they actually feed the cows and the bulls or whatever they got over there. So all the corn, the wheat, the rye, they pretty much keep it in-house. They grow it all, and I love to hear stuff like that. It was a little restaurant when I used to live close to Orlando called Fred's Market, and everything that they sold, it was a buffet. Everything that they sold, they grew it right there on the farm, and it was probably the closest to a homemade buffet that you'll ever get to. So I always like when I hear everything is basically homegrown right there on the property. So that was kind of gave me a little notch. Now that was one of the things the positive things about it. Now I'm not gonna say negative because I haven't tried it yet. So I'm gonna say probably some of the points that kind of got me like, wanted to be it's out of Virginia. I haven't had good luck with bourbons and whiskeys out of Virginia since I started doing videos. And I had a Virginia bourbon. I forgot the name of it. Oh, I don't even think I knew the name of it. A buddy of mine had it, and I asked him what it was, and he was like, "Oh, it's just Virginia." So for the whole time, I'm thinking the name is Virginia. I think like probably about 10, 12 years ago, I went to the store like, "Hey, y'all got the Virginia whiskey?" And he was like, "Oh, you can go down there and look." But I'm thinking that was the name. So I'm still trying to see if I can get one out of Virginia that was up to my standards at the time. Maybe I might not even like it now, but that's why I keep going back to the Virginia straight bourbon. Another thing, since it is probably at least it's a local distillery, so it's probably regional. It may just be a really a local thing. I haven't seen this brand in my area until I got it the other day. Like all my major ones like Total Wine, ABC, they don't carry it. I looked online, and I think the grocery store probably just looked up. They probably accidentally ordered it. That's probably why they had it in the clearance area. So I'm kind of treating this one like how you would do like a double A, like minor league baseball. Like if you're a fan of baseball, if you go to a minor league game, you're gonna enjoy it. Now what you're not gonna enjoy if you go in with the expectations of major leagues. Like if you're trying to compare the Tampa Bay High Tides to the New York Yankees, you're gonna have a long day ahead of you. So I'm gonna keep an open mind. And like if I'm going to a minor league baseball game, I'm gonna sit back, enjoy baseball, and enjoy the day. So that's what we're gonna do with this one. This one, it's a 90 proof, so that's a good little scale. 3 buddies up in Virginia, they started the brand. They started it back in 2010. They had a master distiller that used to work for Maker's Mark. He kind of took them under their wing, kind of basically just showed them the business, how to make it, and was their master distiller for the first 2 years. So that's kind of like a plus. But when you go from a place like Kentucky where you're doing it, you can have the same process in Kentucky. Once you move it over to a different location, a different state, that's pretty much the difference maker right there. But they got some people that's backing them, and the farm it's a nice farm. I believe it's like 800 acres that they got, nothing but farms and mountains on it. And I looked at the distillery. The distillery kind of looks like a regular farm, but if you were trying to disguise that you were a distillery, you can do it. Like you'll think it's probably somebody's grandma's house when you pull up, and then it looked like an Airbnb, or that's the front, like an Airbnb or bread and breakfast. And then you say the code word, and they open it like something you'll see on one of those movies, like the Kingsman or something. Like if the Kingsman came over here, and they had to go undercover, and they played like they were farmers, but they got all the bourbon in the back. It kind of looks like that. It's that old timey, still got that 1700 look and feel to it. It just looked like something that George Washington, you can tell he was there a few times. So let's just crack this bad boy open, see what we got. Now it kind of got a dark tint to it. It looks more like a rye than it would like a typical whiskey or bourbon. Oh, it kind of got that. It doesn't have that bourbon smell to it. You can tell it's like they put it in those it's like they put it in a wine barrel. The last time that I had a smell like this, they aged it in a wine barrel. I'm getting that same smell just by smelling it, but we'll see. Ooh, ooh, this one, this one's not, it's not up to par. This is not up to par. It's, I want to say this is more like, they need to let the cows sip on this. This is what they need to do. They need to just toss this in the field. It's something about, I don't know if they using the same like ingredients that Maker's Mark would use, but this right here is, this would be like your typical local, you starting to make bourbon in your garage, and you got a few people that bought it, so you want to take pride in your product, but at the end of the day, it may not be where it needs to be. This is this. They need to focus on selling the steaks and the beefs that they do up there as well, because bourbon is not their forte. But I can see why people probably will buy it, because if you can go there and leave with a box of T-bones and prime ribs and ground beef, if they give you a good deal on that, I'll spend $40 on the bourbon. Now it's tolerable. It's not just like, I'm not gonna pour it down the sink or nothing like that. A old fashioned, I wouldn't know if it was ragged or if it was Sazerac. If I put a little bit of ginger ale in it, whiskey. It's a mixed drink, so I'm not gonna cry over spoiled milk, but it will do the job. I wouldn't recommend it. I kind of see why it was discounted, but it's I have to give it a 5. It's par. I done had worse. This would probably be the Canadian Select, the Florida brand. That's probably still my bottom. This one will be joining them, so at least they'll have company. They'll have company on the bottom shelf. But hey man, this is my pick of the week. Next week, I hope I'll be a little bit more enjoyable, but I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna slow sip this one. I'll probably get done with this glass probably by next week, but we're gonna do it all again. I might take it to work, wash some windows with it. You never know. But hey, I'll see you next week.